You make my world a better place.
Yes!
Hey, mate, he's walking with me.
I can depend on you.
Chris is back in Cairns for a second week. He's been invited to work at the busy Marlin Coast vet clinic with his mate Rod Gilbert.
Morning, mate. How are you?
Hey, how are you, Chris?
Yeah, pretty well. What's going on today?
Well, I've just had a call from Hartley's Creek. Ted, one of the older crocodiles up there, has had an injury.
Yeah.
He needs to be seen as soon as possible.
And you want him seen by me, don't you?
That'd be good.
Of course you do. You've saved this one up, haven't you?
Sort of.
Yeah. That's what I thought. Thank you, mate. As a vet, working up here just seems to have this intensity about it that really draws me in. It's hotter, it's harder, and the animals seem to find themselves in situations that are nothing like back home.
Halfway to his first patient, Chris spies an unexpected swimmer off the beach.
Sure, I saw a croc. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Wow. Look at that. Just cruising in the open ocean. I mean, this is an idyllic beach. You don't expect to see a croc here, but out, what, 1, 2, 3 waves out, lurking there is, I'd say, a 4 to 5 metre croc. I'd say he'd be a male because this time of year they're looking to breed, so the fact he's out in the open ocean is strange, but it's probably switching rivers. All right. I think we can safely say he's healthy. Time to go and see a sick one.
The sick croc Chris needs to see is at Hartley's, 40 minutes north of Cairns.
How you doing? You Shane?
That's me.
How are you? I'm Chris.
Nice to meet you, mate.
Sorry I'm a bit late, mate.
That's all right.
Already seen a croc today.
Oh, bonus.
Now, where's this one you want me to look at?
He's just down here, mate. Okay.
Yep.
Shane Neal is the senior reptile keeper. He looks after the 3,000 deadly crocs that call this place home.
So just a few of the 3,000?
There's just a couple in there. Our largest crocodile, Ted, he sustained some injury to his top jaw from one of the smaller males. He is a very old crocodile, so we're always very concerned about his health and well-being. And some of the injuries did look pretty serious to us.
So we go on the boat?
Yep, we're going on the boat now. See if we can find him.
Even the boats are kept behind fences here.
Ted lives with lots of other crocs in an area known as Hartley's Lagoon.
What are you worried about with Ted?
Because obviously it's coming to the breeding season now, he has been fighting with one of the other males, and he has sustained some injuries around his mouth. And he is a very old crocodile. I mean, we do think he might be around 100, maybe even older.
100?
Yeah. So we are concerned for his well-being.
Yeah, you bet. Shane tells me that despite Ted being 100 years old, he's still competing for the affections of the women in the lagoon. In doing that, he's got into a fight with the other males, and apparently he's been beaten up pretty bad. Where's Ted been spotted lately?
He's not in his usual spot, so he might be hiding away somewhere.
Finding the injured croc is going to be a massive task. The lagoon is huge. The water is murky and thick with reeds.
So who's this one here?
That's one of the females.
There's two here. Not him?
No, too small for him.
Even though Ted is 5.4 metres long, he's not easy to find out here. So are you at all concerned the fact that he's just nowhere to be seen at the moment?
We are a bit, just because of the fact he is an old crocodile, so we sort of really need to respond to any sort of injuries with him very quickly.
Yeah.
Chris is growing increasingly worried. The old croc could have life-threatening injuries, which would explain why he's nowhere to be found.
Can you nose it right in a bit, Nick?
So you're thinking he could be in here?
He could be, yeah. Yeah. Can't see him.
An hour into the search and the situation is becoming desperate.
So, if we can't find him, then I can't treat him.
But Shane's got a plan B. And with hundreds of crocs lurking everywhere, it's a high-risk strategy.
So we're going to the bank now.
We're going to the bank and we'll see if we can get him up.
Okay.
At the Bondi Referral Hospital SASH, 4-year-old golden retriever Fatti has been rushed in for emergency treatment.
All right, he's had a bag of fluids? Okay.
Fatti was running in the park with his owner when he suddenly collapsed.
His legs started to shake and then he just dropped. So I thought he must be tired, very tired. So I started to pour water on him. Then he started to crawl and I saw his back legs not moving. Then I know there's something wrong.
Heart rate's 140, got clear lung sounds, normal gut sounds. Oh, God, massive diarrhea. His body temperature is sky high, he's panting, he can't walk, he's got diarrhea, he is a mess. Owners said that they were running him, it was a hot day, so it could be something like heat stroke. Yeah. Dogs are much more prone to heat stroke than people are. We sweat through our skin, whereas they sweat through their foot pads and nose and rely more on panting to keep themselves cool. Now, on a hot day when the humidity is high, that is just not enough.
Fatti's temperature is alarmingly high, almost 43 degrees.
A normal body temperature for a dog is roughly 37.5 up to 39, but to have a body temperature of nearly 43 degrees, now that's enough to cause damage in every organ in the body and cause the brain and blood clotting system to shut down. That's a boy. You're a good boy. Yeah, you are a good boy. He's all tucked up in bed.
Fatti's distressed owners, Nick and Stephanie, are anxious to see their sick boy.
I feel so bad for Nick and his family to see Fatti so unwell when this morning he was completely normal and all they were doing was taking him for a lovely run in the sun, and now he's in a state where I can't even guarantee that he's going to get better, and they must be absolutely terrified. So it's good he's aware you're here and he's looking around. His just body has had such a knock. So we just got to now try and get him better, okay? This is really hard for Nick and his family because they love Fatti so much, and now he's in a hospital in a critical state and they don't even know if they're going to see him at the end of the day. Cross your fingers, but you're giving him the best possible chance, okay? You're doing everything that I've recommended you're doing, and that's the best thing for him. Okay. All right, we'll keep you updated. I'll give you a call in a few hours and let you know how he's going, okay? All right.
Thank you.
The next few hours are critical.
Because heat stroke can cause multiple organ failure, I'm doing some blood tests to work out what's going on inside Fatti.
At almost 43 degrees, Fatti's body temperature was dangerously high.
It looks like Fatti's results are pretty good considering his body temperature was so high. These are actually not too bad at all. I'm actually quite surprised. I was expecting his clotting times to be off the scales and abnormalities in lots of his internal organs, but everything's actually looking pretty okay at the moment. This is a little bit promising. Even though it can change, I'm going to hold on to this as something good.
You're nice and cozy there. We're going to get you feeling a lot better, sweetness. All right? You're a good boy. You're a good boy. Okay?
Now got reinforcements.
Yeah, we've got Jesse here as a backup, as our guard in case things go pear-shaped. This is where we're going in.
In far north Queensland, Chris and the team from Hartley's Crocodile Adventures are about to enter a lagoon filled with deadly crocodiles. They're looking for Ted, a monster 5.4 metre croc who's been badly injured in a mating battle with a rival male.
So you're actually going to call him?
Yep.
Here?
Call him up.
Do you use like a low frequency thing, or what do you, like, how do you actually attract him?
It's very technical, Chris. We just say, come on.
You do not?
Seriously.
Shane's hoping to trick Ted into thinking it's feeding time. Hopefully a call will lure him out of hiding.
Come on! Come on!
Just tap the bucket lightly. You can see the reeds moving.
Just through here now. Just a shadow under the water, but it's a big shadow. All of a sudden, the reeds start parting, they're shaking, you can almost feel the ground moving. He's on his way. It's like something out of a horror film.
Come on, Ted, come on.
Okay, so we're okay here right now?
At the moment, yeah.
Know when to run.
Yeah, if you see us running, don't ask questions, just follow.
Knowing that this croc needs to be looked at is what's keeping me anchored to the ground, but there's a lot of instincts inside you saying, get out of here. Jeez.
As soon as Ted gets to shore, Chris can immediately see the old warrior is in serious trouble. Ted can barely move.
Just looking here, there's quite a few puncture wounds just next to those nostrils there, but also underneath. Yeah, there's actually some puncture wounds underneath. So I'd say the jaws of that croc have actually gone in like that and really give him a good rip, top and bottom. You'd expect a croc that's 100 years old to have a few battle scars, but what Ted has over his snout there is quite something. Just when he breathes, do you hear that?
Yeah. Doesn't sound right, does it?
Just when he's exhaling, he's got a little, almost like a tyre's leaking. You can hear air squirting out.
The wounds look bad.
Just want to squirt this and clean that mud out of the top wounds there.
Yeah.
But Chris won't know the full extent of the damage until the area is cleaned.
Unbelievable. I managed to get the swab in there and really clean out some of that dead tissue. But pretty quickly, Ted tells me he doesn't like it one bit. He's turned around and gone into the water. But by going into the water, he's actually given us another important clue about just how serious his injuries are. He's got those bubbles coming out there. So that puncture that he's had is quite deep.
Okay.
And going into some quite sensitive tissue, which explains why he's really pulled away when I've started to dig in there and try to clean it out. He's going to need some antibiotics.
Okay.
Because that sort of area, it's not a superficial wound now.
Yeah.
That's actually quite deep and quite dangerous.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Seeing that air rushing out of Ted's mouth really rams home the fact he was bitten hard, because to puncture that bone, to cause that leakage, takes a big hit. We have to act and act now.
His temperature was 42.6. So.
Oh, this is pretty strong regular. Yeah, he looks like he's having some partial seizures, but you're okay. All right. He's having a little seizure there.
At SASH, heatstroke patient Fatti has suddenly taken a turn for the worse.
Okay. All right, bud. Heat stroke affects every part of the body, so when the body temperature goes above, say, 42 degrees, it can cause brain damage, and I think that's what we're dealing with right now. So we're going to give him some anticonvulsants to try and get these seizures under control, but this is really not a good sign.
And can we get an ETCO2 monitor on him as well, please?
Yep.
He's really not breathing on his own.
We finally got Fatty's seizure under control, and the next minute I notice his breathing becomes shallow, and he stops breathing, and then his heart stops.
Okay, I've got no heartbeat. Can we get some adrenaline, please?
And before we know it, we're performing CPR on him.
I've got a heart rate. You feel it? Yeah.
Yep, there's a heartbeat.
Lisa and the team have brought Fatti back to life, but he's only just hanging on.
I'm feeling sick about this. This is a real turn for the worse. It's not something that I expected to happen so quickly. But to me, it shows that Fatty's systems are shutting down, and I don't know if he's going to pull through this. Nicholas, hi, it's Lisa, the vet speaking.
Fatty's owners are anxious to hear of any developments, so Lisa is now phoning them to discuss treatment.
So you're happy for him to be put onto the ventilator? Okay, all right, so we'll put him on a ventilator and we'll keep giving him the medication and we'll give you an update in an hour or so. So he said as long as there's a chance, he'll give him a chance. It's pretty amazing. Fatty survived a cardiac arrest. Now, not many animals get through that. And now he's on a ventilator and he's in a coma. And yes, his chances of survival are low, but it just gives me a little bit of hope that he's going to pull through this as well.
Good boy. Don't you give up. No, Mum and Dad and your family are really, really waiting for you to go home. Okay? Buddy?
He's got those bubbles coming out there. So that puncture that he's had is quite deep and going into some quite sensitive tissue, which explains why he's really pulled away when I've started to dig in there and try to clean it out. He is going to need some antibiotics.
At Hartley's Crocodile Adventures just outside Cairns, Chris is treating Ted, the second largest croc in captivity.
I'm going to grab some things out of my box.
This 5.4 metre monster was involved in a territorial fight with another male and now has horrific injuries to his snout that need urgent treatment.
I don't generally carry around crocodile tablets. Okay.
Why not?
Well, exactly. So the only ones I've got are for dogs, but this is the perfect antibiotic for him. So instead of getting one or two, he's going to get a few more. How much does he weigh?
Probably about 900 kilos.
He's going to get 18 tablets.
Okay.
10, 11, 12. Getting antibiotics into a 900 kilo croc, you can't exactly put a tablet down his throat, or can you? All right, so we've got a nice piece we can hide these in. All right. Come on, big fella. Would he normally be a bit more active than this?
Yeah, he'd just stay up here and we call him, he'd just straight up.
Yeah. So he's obviously really feeling it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely, he's definitely not well. Come on, Ted, come on up here.
It's crucial that Ted gets all the antibiotics.
Come on, Ted, come on up here, come on.
But the commotion is attracting an unwelcome onlooker.
Got a bit of a problem here because we've got this little female here now. She, at her age, is very nimble, she's very fast. And she's a big attack risk.
Chris needs to make sure Ted gets to the food before the intruder.
Come on, come on. Come on, big fella. Come on up here. Come on. Come on.
Come on, Teddy. Keep it right. You got it? Let's see it swallowed. Come on. Good boy. Good boy. Well done. Now that Ted's had a good dose of those antibiotics, they'll be working into his system over the next 24 hours. The great thing is, it'll start to heal him from the inside out. Looks like he's decided this appointment is over. I've got to say that when I was told that I had to treat a 5.4 metre crocodile with injuries around his mouth, I couldn't have hoped that it would go this well. Which probably means I should leave now while my dignity and respect is intact. All right, mate. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
See you, Teddy.
Nicholas, hi, come through.
At SASH, heatstroke patient Fatti is now breathing with the help of a ventilator, and his worried family has come back in to see him.
Look, I think we have to take it an hour at a time.
So I guess he's just waiting and see.
Yeah. It wasn't even that hot today, was it? I feel so bad for Fatty's family. They were just trying to be good owners by exercising their dog, and Fatti was playing along and didn't realise that he was getting so hot at the time, and everything went downhill from there. And they don't even know that they're tired, they don't even know they're hot, they just want to chase and play and feel hot, but they don't complain about it, and then it's often too late. So don't feel bad, we see it all the time. But he's getting everything, you're giving him every possible chance. Slim chance. Fatti is so lucky that he's got a family that is so committed to him. They absolutely adore him, and they have decided that they want us to do everything that we can. They are holding on to every possible chance that there is, and I hope that he pulls through for them. Take care. It's going to be a long night. We've got Fatti on a ventilator. We're treating him with medication for his blood pressure. We're doing everything we possibly can, and the rest is just up to him. I just hope like hell that he pulls through this. Don't you give up, buddy.
At SASH, it's been an incredibly tough night for Lisa and the emergency team.
Fatti's blood tests just got worse and worse. His organs continued to shut down.
In the early hours of the morning, 4-year-old golden retriever Fatti sadly lost his brave battle for life.
You know, this is just a heart-wrenching reminder to me and everyone around that heat stroke in dogs can be deadly. It is the hardest part of my job when this kind of thing happens. And we've done everything in our power to get Fatti through this, and his owners have given us every opportunity to try and help him, and unfortunately, this is just a situation where medicine is not enough.
Chris.
Hey, mate.
David's down the car park. He's one of our regular customers. If you could go and give him a hand with the next patient, please.
In the car park?
That's right.
Okay.
Chris is at the Marlin Coast Vet Clinic in Cairns, about to see his next patient.
When Rod tells me that I have to go and help someone out in the car park, I'm a little bit suspicious. But at the same time, it's not out of the ordinary. Sometimes the pet is just too big or the person's too old to get themselves in. You David?
Yeah, g'day Chris, how are you?
I'm good, good to see you, mate.
Mate, I just got something here that I thought you need to just have a quick look at for me.
That always makes me nervous.
Just a little fella.
Oh, Jesus.
We'll get him on upstairs, eh?
Yeah, I think we should. Oh, wow. I think we should probably go to a room where we can close doors.
David has brought in a local stray for the doc to check out.
Yep. It's a scrub python, isn't it?
He is amethystine python, or commonly known as a scrub python.
So, how have you got this monster?
This fella, well, I was called out for this fella where he decided he was going to have somebody's pet geese for breakfast. Lucky we sort of got there just in time.
Yeah.
The owner of the house in fright sort of give him a bit of a touch up with the broom, you know, to get him off the pets.
Yeah.
So I thought we should probably bring him in, you know, let you have a bit of a look over him, make sure he's in good nick before we let him go.
Because obviously being this size, they can't exactly hide too easily.
No, he's good size and easily sprung.
Yeah. Wow. He is massive.
Chris has colourful memories of his first encounter with a Cairns scrub python.
A couple of years ago, I spent a few days, quite frustrating and quite freaky days, trying to find a snake in a roof up here. But this wasn't any old snake. This was Big Mama.
Yep.
You got him?
I've got the head, yep. Okay, I've got him. Got him, mate. Yep.
Oh, he's hanging on. He's hanging on. Listen.
Big snake.
Oh, jeez. Oh, wow. The legend of Big Mama has grown to such an extent, she's almost taken on mythical proportions. She was 7 metres long. This one, not quite as big, so I'm going to call her Medium Mama.
They often are sort of reasonably calm species snakes, but certainly if annoyed, they can turn around and give you a bit of a chewing.
Make a necklace out of you, right?
Yeah, and I can tell you, it's not good.
It's not great. Trust me right now, it's not great.
G'day.
Australian Reptile Park Operations Manager Tim Faulkner is making an unusual house call.
I'm Tim.
Hi Tim, I'm Natalie.
Nice to meet
This
you.
is Amber.
Hello. How are you?
Shy.
Yeah, mine are too. What do you think's in there?
Well, they kind of make a squeaking noise.
Rats,
so
bats, mice, birds.
maybe baby birdies,
Yeah?
perhaps?
Now let's go and have a look.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Come on, you gonna come?
Come here, Mummy.
Come on.
Good girl.
Natalie has been hearing strange sounds coming from inside her bedroom wall. The mysterious squatters are making such a racket, the young family have turned to Tim for help.
It's a good spot because you've got the forest next door, so plenty of wildlife.
Yeah.
Where?
Where are they? Where are they? They up here? Up here.
Right, so they're in here. Whatever's in the walls, it's making them move out of some of the rooms. They can't go in there, it's noisy. I need to find it. So, and you hear them from inside?
Yep.
Okay.
And it just sounds like mummy birds brought back some food for the babies and they all start squeaking.
If they were birds and it was mum and dad, you should see them coming and going pretty regularly, and you haven't seen anything?
I haven't seen anything, no, but if you could rehome them somewhere that's safe for them in a nice environment.
Yep.
But we've got a cat. I don't want them to get eaten or anything like that, so.
Sure. Natalie said that whatever's in the walls is most active at night, or makes the most noise at night. Now that's got me thinking, maybe it's nocturnal. Whatever it is, I've got to get it out. Do you want to help me? Do you want to have a go? Do you want to have a go? I think that was a no. These poor people, I come around to have a look at their animals, and I mentioned to them I'm not a builder, which is just as well because this house is coming down. There's your drain.
Oh, lovely. Might be a good time to clean it. Maybe some bushfire season.
Oh, the gutters aren't bad, so someone's been good.
That's my lovely dad.
All right, I might start at this one, hey?
Sure. Just make sure no little mice or anything.
Oh, I can see something there now.
Tim has located the intruders, and Natalie is in for a big shock.
Look up under there.
Oh!
Now, he's behind this one, which is okay. So what we might actually do is now work at getting this top one off. I look up under one of the boards into the wall cavity, and there's a bat.
He's about the size of a little mouse. But as long as he doesn't, he's going to drop on me.
A little microbat. It's this big, and it's tucked right up the top. Geez, you're rougher than me. And for a little animal, they got big teeth. Holy moly.
Is there more?
Oh, is there more? Have a look at this. There we go, so... Yeah, can you see now? Look at that.
Oh, I can hear them. Oh, yeah, there's one. Oh, there's a whole...
Yep, a whole little colony of them.
Tim must now remove the bats.
Oh, they're starting to wake up.
If they are not relocated, they pose a danger to Natalie and her family.
The problem with microbats, or any bats, is that you shouldn't touch them and you don't want them living in your wall. They can carry a virus called Lisa virus. Now, it's fatal, it's a form of rabies, and when little Amber's sticking her fingers in places she shouldn't be, that's a worry. We've got to be quick because these little guys are starting to wake up. They're in there because it's dark. I've just given it daylight and they're beginning to get active, so I've got to be careful and just get one at a time. Okay. I've got one.
Oh, cool.
Are they sitting? Yep. Look at that. That's it. Full grown. Look at that little face, full of teeth. I'm going to put them in the bag and go again. So there's one. They will climb up. That's it. Thank you. Okay, there's 1, 2. Look at that. Another 2. Oh, mate, they're so fragile. Okay, so that's 3. Come on, little guy. I don't want to hurt you. Okay, oh, he's a cranky one. Another 2.
He's awake.
Look at that. That's a pretty cute little face. Hey, it's all right, mate. 5. What's that, number 6? Oh.
So far, Tim has managed to remove 6 bats.
Oh, he's up high, that little guy.
But there is still one left, and this last intruder isn't leaving without a fight.
Come on, little guy. Okay, a little bit more.
Oh, yeah. There's some big teeth in there.
In Cairns, Chris is trying to find out if Medium Mama has any injuries.
There are no wounds in his mouth. Obviously, he was the one dishing out the wounds rather than receiving them.
The local who discovered the massive python beat it off with a broom before snake catcher David came to the rescue.
He got a bit of a touch-up from the broom.
Okay. While she might be big and strong, the fact is she has hundreds of ribs that are actually quite fine. So if she has been hit by a broom, it's possible she's actually fractured some of those. So my first job is really to feel her whole way down to check if I can feel any abnormalities. I mean, just feeling down the full length here, I'm just feeling for any irregularities, any swellings, any little bumps or bruises that might indicate where that broom made a bit of a dent, but I imagine we're dealing with a pretty tough snake here. I'm looking for a couple of things, either indentations in the body where she could have taken a blow, or swellings where her body's responded to some sort of injury. Clearly, all the padding that this snake has been enough because I can't see any damage to those ribs. And he's in very good condition. Now, it's important to check the other parts of her body, starting with the heart. The heart, though, it's hard to find. The heart should be about a third of the way down, so. How's that arm?
That's all right.
A good blow by a broom to a lung could cause some serious injuries. I can see her lungs inflating and I can hear them, and thankfully, they sound okay. I've learnt enough about scrub pythons to know that it's rare to see any of them over 5 metres long, apart from Big Mama, of course. So this girl isn't leaving this clinic until she's measured. Okay. To measure the length of a snake, you have to put them on the ground and stretch them out. That's easier said than done when the room is smaller than the patient. And we've got a tape measure. How you going there?
Yeah, I'm right. It's pure muscle.
Yeah. Look at that mark there. All right, so if we just go from that point. So, 5.43 metres. Wow.
Yeah, it's good size.
The fact is, a snake this size can't stay in a vet clinic like this, or really a city like this, for too long. She has to be returned to the wild. All right.
Alrighty.
Let's go.
Look at that. That's a pretty cute little face.
An hour and a half north of Sydney, Tim has been called to Natalie's house to deal with some uninvited guests.
What's that, number 6? Oh.
So far, he has captured 6 bats.
Oh, he's up high, that little guy.
But one is refusing to budge.
Come on, little guy, I don't want to hurt you. Okay, a little bit more. Gotcha. Got him. Look at that. And look for their size, look at the attitude they've got. Isn't that beautiful?
Like tissue paper.
Yep. Stay here, matey. Not afraid to bite. Listen. Hear that? There's that beautiful wind.
With all the bats now removed,
Oh yeah, I can feel them climbing.
Tim suddenly discovers how the tiny trespassers entered Natalie's home.
So this is a little bat highway. I can see right where they're coming in, straight through the side.
And then you can see where they climb up, tiny little claw marks. And beneath that is a heap of droppings. If we block these holes, at least that means this particular access point's stopped. They're just sneaking through a couple of cracks. And now, it's important that I fix them. If I don't, more bats will come and use that site. That's not good for the bats, and it's not safe for the family.
Are you supervising?
All right. So this will work temporarily, and you guys might just need a tube of that gap filler.
Sure.
Thank
you.
No worries. Can you open that beanie for me? I'm going to put them in that gently so that they... Beauty. I'm going to take the bats back to the reptile park. I've blocked off their home. If I leave them there, they won't survive. I need to bring them back and give them the care they need. Jeez, it's pretty heavy, isn't it? It's heavy, yeah. You're a good helper. They can ride in the front with me.
Bye-bye, Bat. Good girl.
Bye.
Bye, Tim. Bye, Bat. You're gone. Gone.
Got the spot in mind, mate?
Yep, certainly.
Chris and Cairn snake catcher David are heading bush to release the huge python found in a local backyard.
Okay, so you're happy with this spot here?
Yep, you should be happy.
So the thinking is that she should go up there, right?
That's the plan.
The idea here is to get her far enough out of town that she's not going to go into any backyards, but not too far away. So it's still her natural habitat. Here, hopefully we'll let her out of the bag. She goes off into the wild. Okay, we've got her here. All right, girl. Welcome to your new home. One without fences, pets and geese. All right, oh, she's lively now. I think she knows. Now, the thing about you finding a new home is that I can't come with you. Okay, so there's no point latching onto me now. All right, I think it's time. She's been licking the air there. You go, girl. You go and do your thing. See, that is what I find amazing. When she actually stretches out like this, you get a good idea of just how big she is. What you learn very quickly around here is that everything seems to grow big. If it's not crocodiles, it's cane toads. If it's not cane toads, it's scrub pythons. Trust me, if you've got a 5.5 metre one, she's better off out here. She's going up.
Big old lazy chugger.
You reckon you'll see her again?
Well, for her sake, I hope not, because if I run across her again, it'll be in somebody's backyard, and that's sort of fraught with danger.
Let's make a goodbye and not see you soon, huh?
No worries.
Hello, little guys. They're so small.
Tim has arrived at the Australian Reptile Park with the 7 tiny bats that had taken up residence in the wall of a nearby family home.
I can see here that they're not bent-wing bats. So my thinking now is that we're at a chocolate wattled bat.
With the intruders now identified, it's time to give the family of bats a home of their own.
Can you go? Bats like to feel safe. They're little, they're vulnerable, they're a little snack pack for an owl or a kookaburra. So when they hide, they want to be compressed, they want to be tight. So the things that I've provided there allow them to either get right up inside a beanie, to get in a dark box and tuck away. He is so cranky. Look at that, for a little guy, they sure pack a punch. Hey, I wouldn't like to be an insect.
With the 7 chocolate wattled bats now safe in their new home,
there you go, buddy. I want you to go up in there with your mate.
Tim has a special housewarming present for the new arrivals.
What bat doesn't love a juicy mealworm? Microbats are insectivorous. That means they eat little insects. Now I've got a bowl of mealworms and they'll feast on that overnight. Now I'm going to keep them here for a little while and eventually they'll go back to the wild.
Yeah, right. I have to break this gently to you, mate, but it is home time for me. I've got to go.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate you coming.
Mate, you threw all shapes and sizes at me.
We try to please.
Yeah, clearly, you really do.
Well, next time, bring your surfboard.
Nah, I've seen what's out there and someone's already claimed those waves, so it's not going to happen. But, mate, thank you, all right?
Thanks,
See you
Chris.
later.
Hi, I'm Dr Danny Dusek from Bondi Vet. If you love our show and want to see more, plus some amazing content about pets and how to care for them, hit the subscribe button. Click that little notification bell and we'll see you on our next video.